Our next topic is associated to India's foreign exchange reserve and current account balance of India. As two reports published by RBI, we have to rely on these reports. Why? Because economic survey was not published this year. Therefore, we have to rely on the publications of government institutions like RBI and their data, because UPSC asked the question this year from these topics. These topics are very important for your examination. Please pay attention to this part. As we know that at the low of 530 billion US dollar in 2023, India's forex rose to 619 billion US dollar. So that is a significant rise, but in practical sense you know that it is not a rise because it is just a recovery, since we had 618 billion US dollar forex in 2022. Okay, so with the help of these reports, one is this and other will come later, we will establish how our foreign exchange is built, how current account and capital account helping our forex to rise to some level, and where India's forex leading to, what is the situation of India's forex in comparison to other major developing and developed countries. For example, India's forex comes at place 4 just after Germany. The top foreign exchange reserve holding country is China, number 2 Japan, number 3 Germany, and in 2023 number 4, place 4 was belonging to Russia, but later India's forex rose to some level at 600 plus billion US dollar. So our foreign exchange reserve comes now at place 4 and Russia is place 5. Okay, so first we need to understand what is current account, how current account is composed of, and how capital account and current account cumulatively affecting forex situation in India. So you people should pay attention to this part. In next few minutes we will establish each and everything. So what is current account and what is capital account, everything we understand in the term of balance of payment. So what is balance of payment? When we say balance of payment, it is basically export and import between two nations, or we can say that trade between two nations. When we say two nations, it includes the individuals or residents in economic term, residents of one nation to other. Residence is a broad term. It includes people, it includes private institutions, it includes government. So people, institutions and government of one nation are engaged in trading with other nation. So to us, one nation is India and rest of the world is other nation. So between India and all other India's trading partner, there is a persistent trade going between the citizens, between the citizen and government, between institutions including public and private institutions. We say public institution under category of government, and private institutions are nothing but the private companies, just like Reliance, Adani Power, Tata. So these things comes under this category. So balance of payment is a systematic record. When we say systematic record of what? Systematic record of trading activities between two nations. Two nations means these are the agent of the nations. Systematic record of 1 year. For us it is financial year. Our financial year, as you know, that starting from April 1st to March 31 next year. So based on these trading activities, our trade can be classified in current account and capital account. So basically, balance of payment comprises of two types of account. One is current account and other is capital account. We will understand one after one, current account and capital account. So balance of payment composed of three things. One is current account, other is capital account, and the third thing is Forex. Fine. So what is current account? Current account is made up of two things. One is trade in goods. So that is merchandise trade. Merchandise trade. Other is invisibles. Invisibles have three things. We will establish in next page. Invisibles. Invisible have three things: trade in services, factor income, and transfers. See, so first, trade in goods. Goods means every tangible goods. So one country is exporting goods to other country. For example, India exports goods to other nations, and same way import goods from other nation to India. So in category of goods, since very long time, except a few months of COVID year, our import was lesser. Otherwise, for most of the years and months, our export of goods was lesser than our import, and basically our import in goods comes from China. Our major goods imports comes from China, and that's why our merchandise trade, which means trade in goods, remain in deficit since very long time, except a few months of COVID year. And this is around 70 billion US dollar, our merchandise trade deficit. But when we push towards invisibles, first thing comes service. Our services remain positive for us. When we say positive for us, it means our service export for most of the months and most of the years remain more than service import. Our service export was more than service import for most of the months and year, and that's why our service is in surplus, around 41 billion US dollar. So service trade is positive for India. Then it comes to factor income. What is factor income? We know that four factors of production are involved also in foreign nations, or foreigners means foreign citizens invest in India, or foreign players are involved in production in India. So we have to net adjustment of those. So net of four factors of production is also calculated in current account. So what is four factors of production? It is employee compensation, employee compensation means if a foreign player, for example, Noura Fatehi is working in India, earning compensation. So this money will went back to Canada because Nora belongs to Canada. In same way, Indian people, software engineers, actors, players earn dollars from foreign nation. So that will be added to India's current account in positive side. So net of employees compensation. Second, profits. Profit comes from where? For example, if Gautam Adani has invested in some production unit or in some shareholding in US, it will earn either profit or dividend. Either profit or dividend. So that will be added to positive side of India's current account. What else comes to four factors of production? Interest earning. If an Indian banking or any other institution has lended some amount to some foreign players or government, it will earn interest. So that will also be added in category of four factors of production, and the net will be added. If it is positive, it will be added to India's current account surplus side. If it is in negative, it will add deficit. So that is four factors of production. And transfers can be either in form of remittances. What is remittances? For example, Priyanka Chopra living in LA, and she is sending on monthly basis or quarterly basis or annual basis some amount for survival, living, house rent, food, or anything medical to their parents, their sister, their brother, or anybody in India. So that will come under remittances. Gifts. See, anybody, for example, again we are taking to example of Priyanka Chopra. If Priyanka Chopra is gifting any things to me, it will comes under the category of gifts. Grants. For example, there is huge famine in the state of Bihar, and to recover from famine situation, India is seeking some grant from World Bank. And if World Bank or Asian Development Bank or some other developed nation or any institution or body offering grant to India, it will also comes to current account side in transfers. But why? So for that matter, before we proceed towards capital account, we should first understand what is current and what is capital account. So current account is something that is not increasing liability on India, and neither reducing the asset of India. Neither it is adding or reducing the asset of India, nor it is adding or reducing any liability on India. So for example, we say grant. If IMF or World Bank, for example, World Bank has given some grant to India, so grant is not to be returned. Therefore, no liability falls on us. If Priyanka Chopra is giving some money for survival, for living to their parents or any other family members or friends, they are not supposed to return that money to Priyanka Chopra. That's why it is not creating any liability. It is not creating any liability. So remittances are not to be returned. Remittances are not to be returned. And similarly, gifts are not to be returned, but not what you have done in class 4. If you will offer me gift, I will offer you gift. See, I don't know about you, but we people in our birthday used to expect, please give me some gift, not that gift. Okay. So this is basically our composition of individuals, and individuals plus merchandise trade falls on current account. Now, if our merchandise trade means trade in good is positive, what that mean? If we have exported in goods category, for example, we have exported 1,000 billion and imported 1,200 billion. So we are suffering losses. How much? Of 200. So that is 200. We have imported more than our export in category of goods. So therefore this 200 should be or will be known as merchandise trade deficit. Merchandise trade deficit. But when we say what is net trade deficit, then we will include services plus goods. Here we had services. Here we had services. So in trade deficit cumulatively, trade deficit calculation, we will add goods export plus service export and reduce goods import and service import. So if it is positive, we will say our trade is in surplus. If it is negative, for example, if it is negative, we will say our trade is in deficit. So that's what trade deficit means. I think one aspect you understood. Now, what is current account surplus or current account deficit? So we will understand that part also here. If adding all these things together, which means trade in goods, trade in services, earning from four factors of production and earning from transfer is in positive, we will say our current account is in surplus. Otherwise, if it is negative, we will say our current account is in deficit. Aarti, please forward attendance sheet to backbenchers also. Attendance is necessary. See, management is seeking attendance. Most people do not attend and later says that these things are not covered in institute. So that is not allowed. Please. Yeah, up to here, if you have some doubt, please point out your doubt. Akash, clear? Swati, clear? Yes. We will cover. FDI, FII, everything is part of that balance of payment, so no need to worry about that. Okay, so up until here, we have understood what is current account and how our current account is either in form of surplus or in deficit. And please remember this part, if it is surplus or deficit, because these surplus and deficit will be calculated later. Now, what is capital account? Now we will cover about this part. Capital account in next page. Capital account. So in capital account, there are three things. One is foreign investment. Foreign investment is basically FDI and FII. Second thing is loans. And third thing is banking capital. Okay, before we understand everything under capital account, we should understand what is capital. Last year we have covered in economic classes in I think August 2023. Yeah, these parts were in August or September, exactly I don't remember, but if you will check in your notes, you will find that we had already covered this part. What is capital? So capital is something, either it is increasing or reducing our asset, or it is creating some liability, or moderating, adjusting, reducing the liabilities. For example, if US company, let's say Google, offering some dollar to either government institutions or private companies, at some point of time these dollars has to be returned. These dollars can be offered to Indian entities in two ways. One is either in form of FII or in form of FDI. FII invests money in India in form of portfolio investments, and then it is said foreign portfolio investment. If any money is invested in foreign portfolio category and in foreign direct investment category, what is the difference between FDI and portfolio investment? So we will understand FDI versus FPI, or we say FII. See, FII are institution, their category of investment is called FPI. Okay, FDI and FII. If any foreign entity, let's say Google, invest in India dollars to, let's say, Infosys in FDI, so it should be at least 10% of the total capital of Infosys, at least not less than 10%, more than 10%. 10% shareholdings must belong to Google to be any investment to be known as foreign direct investment. So one condition is 10%. Second, if any foreign entity is investing any sum of dollars in Indian entity in form of FDI, it will have some say in decision making. So it will have some say in decision making. It will be long-term investment. Means more than 1 year. What exactly mean? Before 1 year finishing, no FDI investor will seek any return. Will seek any return means will not claim any return. See, seeking in the mind, seeking in strategies is good thing. For the motive of profit, so it will also seek that company should, means Infosys should make profit. So it will focus on profit maximization. So these investments are called FDI. When we say FPI or foreign portfolio investment or FII, so how FII and FPI will be categorized? It will be less than of 10% shareholding, less than or of 10% shareholding. It will be invested or withdrawn any point of time, invested or withdrawn any point of time. It will focus not on the profit maximization of the company, but rising prices of the equity shares. If shareholding is there, if share prices are rising, then FII investor will invest more money because it will not command any share. Here it is holding In FDI, it is holding the shares. Here there is no shareholding in practical sense. There is shareholding, but that shareholding is less than 10% and it can be liquidated at any point of time. In both the category there is shareholding, but the difference between is the major chunk, that what is the quantity of shareholding. Got it? So there are many more differences we have learned in our regular session of economy previous year, but here based on these things you will understand what is exactly going on. Yeah, next category comes about loans. So loans can be external commercial borrowings, masala bond. For example, Reliance Industries Limited is seeking some foreign money and it is asking for external commercial borrowing, and some foreign institutions giving money to Reliance company. That is nothing but external commercial borrowing. External commercial borrowing earns money in form of dollars, but masala bond attract foreign money in forms of rupee. It attract dollar, it attract rupee. So conversion risk in masala bond will not fall on Reliance company, but conversion risk in external commercial borrowing will certainly fall on Reliance company. Okay, so these are basic differences of external commercial borrowing and masala bond. Please, everybody, please make entry on attendance sheet. Management is seeking attendance on regular basis, and many in most of the time you people miss the classes, so that is not allowed. Examinations are very near, therefore you people need to attend the classes, revise thoroughly, solve lots of MCQs based on topic wise. MCQs are the crux of this examination. If you want to clear prelims in 1 or 2 attempts and do not want to waste more number of years in preparation, therefore you should solve topic wise question based on the topic we are covering here, and that will certainly help you to qualify prelims first. See, any dream is only dream if it is not substantiated by substantial amount of effort. Your dreams are realities if you are making enough effort, attending the class, revising the notes and standard books, solving MCQs. For prelims that will be enough. Okay, and for mains we will discuss later. Okay, so loans are in form of external commercial borrowing, masala bond. Here also, if loan is taken by government, it will also fall here. If loan is taken by some individual or private entity, it will also fall here. Then what is banking capital? What is banking capital? For example, NRI, let's say Priyanka Chopra, has some bank account in ICICI Bank in India. If she is depositing amount in her account in ICICI Bank in India, she has every right to withdraw this amount at any point of time. But foreign people or NRIs cannot invest in ordinary saving account in India. They can invest in either fixed deposit or recurrent deposit. In that scenario, if Priyanka Chopra wants her money to be withdrawn, she has to wait for maturity. But that amount which Priyanka Chopra or any NRI invested in her bank account, that is also a banking capital for India. Since India is liable to return that amount, this amount is liability on India. Since it is liability on India, it will fall on capital account side. So this is entire structure of balance of payment in India. Okay, we will see some more data regarding this session. which is important for you. Here we understood everything. This part you understood. Now here, please pay attention. If our current account is surplus, let's say if our current account is surplus, let's say our current account is surplus by 200 billion, our capital account is surplus by, let's say, 100 billion, so that will be 300 billion US dollar. So next time this 300 billion US dollar will be added to Forex or foreign exchange reserve, and our foreign exchange will surge, rise. This usually happens. There are other ways to increase foreign exchange reserve, but this is something which is very major in this regard. How our Forex is added. Okay, you have written. If any point missed, this session is recorded. You can watch it on your application. See, examination time you have to take lots of classes, and it is also part of your preparation. How much you pay attention in classes, how much classes you are attending, everything are part of your preparation. It is not going in very easy way. See, if you want to qualify UPSC, you have to make effort, something more than at high school level. Please ask yourself, are you working harder than high schools, intermediates, +2? No. See, you have to work. Everyone have to work. Everyone has to work, because see, there are only less than 1,000 seats around, and entire India is struggling for UPSC. IAS is dream not even today. Since independence, our more studious and intellectual mind have attracted towards this examination. So you have to work hard and become more than just average. So these amount will be added to Forex. So now you understood how current account, how capital account is related to our Forex. So these parts have been addressed. We will see some data which is important for you. Yes, this data again published by RBI. So this is actual. This is actual, and what is the situation? We will see. This is a comparison based on financial year 2003, quarter 3 and quarter 3 of financial year 2024. So based on this comparison, our current account balance, which used to be in deficit of 16.8 billion US dollar, is now, which means quarter 3 of financial year 24 is at the deficit of 10.5 billion US dollar. So our deficit is being reduced by approximate $6 billion in current account segment. This is a positive sign. That shows that our current account has been improved out of many regions. Which regions? For example, we will see here. Services are basically improved. Earlier it used to be 38.7 billion US dollar, now increased to 45 billion US dollar. However, in merchandise trade, it remained approximate at same level from previous year at same quarter. Now, and because of this reason, our current account balance situation improved as a percentage of GDP also, and that improvement from -2% to -1.2%. It is improved by 0.8%. Current account balance as a percentage of GDP. And in primary income and secondary income, so primary income and secondary income both with little improvement remained at stagnant point. So what is primary income? Primary income, see, whatever terms used by RBI generally asked in UPSC. What is primary income? What is secondary income? Primary income is those income which comes from four factors of production. We discussed earlier. What is secondary income? Secondary income is generally remittances, gifts and grants. So this is the basic structure of our balance of payment and foreign exchange reserve. See, these things we have discussed. Here one very important slide is this. The clarity on current account and capital account we will establish. Okay. See, if FDI invested by Google to Infosys, for example, Google has invested of 100 billion US dollar in Infosys, so this will come under capital account. But for example, in 1 or 2 years or in some more quarters, this capital in shares, let's say 100 billion falls for 100 shares, means 1 billion for 1 share. So tomorrow if company is in attracting more profits, earning more and more profits, its wealth is going to increase, therefore price of 1 share will also increase. So let's imagine the price of 1 share goes to 1.1 billion US dollar. In this situation, Google company will earn profit of not less than 10 billion. So that 10 billion is earning for Google, and that earning against FDI or FPI will be part of current account. Current account. Same way, interest earning is part of current account. Same way, dividend is part of current account, as we discussed earlier. You got this? This is basically current account. For example, State Bank of India has offered some loan to Bangladesh. That will be capital account. But if State Bank is earning some interest from Bangladesh, that will be part of current account. Invested principal is capital account, part of capital account, and interest earning are part of current account. See, interest earning cannot be interest losses, but in case of FDI, our profits can be negative, therefore that can be losses. But generally loans, external commercial borrowings or something like that will never attract minus or negative income. It can be negative in very menial way if exchange rate risks are higher. These concepts are asked by UPSC in form of its statements and options. Therefore you should be very sharp in this understanding. Whenever you read those statements or options, be very specific, be very clear whether that will fall under the current account side or capital account side. Amit, please pay attention to this part and do not use mobile phone in between. That is very non-serious to you. Anyone, do not do same mistakes here even after 1 year is passing. Not very important, your mobile phones. Otherwise I will not allow mobile phones in the class, since I am not those conservative type of teacher. Therefore that's why I am allowing mobile phones and many more gadgets which you are bringing here. But you should be very disciplined whether you are learning. Respect the learning. Do not disrespect your brain. Your brain is not dustbin. Your brain deserves good knowledge. So please be very attentive. Okay, so this part we had discussed. And forex cover, what is forex cover? If we have forex cover, just imagine we have our foreign exchange reserve at 600 billion US dollar, and our monthly import is around 50 billion US dollar. So we have a cover of 1 year. Means if we have zero export and zero earning from foreign nations, we are still able to pay our dues for next 12 months. For next 12 months, because we have an accumulation of foreign exchange reserve of 600 billion. So that 600 billion can pay dues to next 12 months. That's why we say our forex cover is for next 12 months or 1 year forex cover we have. You know, OECD classification says that any country having forex cover for 9 months is a good indicator. You know what is the forex cover for Pakistan? Not even 7 days. Not even 7 days. That is the worsening situation of Pakistan. Why we every time compare Pakistan with India? Because these both countries got independence at same point of time. Because these both countries had similar aspirations by the year of 60s, 70s or 80s. Later Pakistan could not manage, but India. So thank you so much. And again, do not waste your minutes and hours these days. These 48-50 days will decide your fate, how you will perform in UPSC prelims, or your overall success will depend on these 50 days. See, prelims will not lead you to final result, but it can stop you even for entering mains. Vast majority of Delhi, you see your neighbors in Rajendra Nagar and Karol Bagh, you will find that lots of youths are just misguided and could not utilize last 2 months, and that led to their failure. Thank you so much and have a nice time. Bye bye.